All right, I am responding to Barbie127s or Barbles127s. It's funny how if a judge isn't against Trump, they're corrupt. And the ones that aren't. Well, it's quite simple, Barbles. Here we go. There are people in this country who are actual patriots, and there's people in this country who actually put America first. It's very, 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 very simple to differentiate the two. If you are America first, when someone comes up and tells you there is a mountain shit ton of evidence against the person you voted for, you're like, ooh, I didn't see that coming, but I want to see the evidence because I'm America first. I'm not Biden first, I'm not Trump first, I'm not any of that. I'm America first. That's what's called a patriot. Patriot. That's probably the only three-syllable word MAGA's actually familiar with. They just have a different interpretation of what the word patriot means. Patriot actually is putting America first, actually putting what's best for this country in front of everything else. Now, when you make a comment like this, you say a couple of things about yourself. You scream a couple of things about yourself. Let me break them down for you. If someone's in office and there is evidence, mountains and mountains of evidence against them, and there are grand jury indictments, the first thing you've got to recognize is what it actually takes to become a grand jury indictment. What the grand jury actually gets to do that you don't get to do and I don't get to do is review all of the evidence that the investigators actually have discovered throughout their investigation. Whether it's from, let's just say, Donald J. Trump himself sending an email to someone saying, hey, we have these fake electors and we're going to fraudulently try and steal the election. Or let's just say him telling the National Archives that I don't have any other top secret information. No, I swear, Scout's honor, that is evidence because they actually signed pieces of paper. For instance, with the documents case, this was in response to me making a comment about Judge Cannon. They signed papers. He had his lawyers fraudulently sign papers saying, no, we swear, we handed everything back. It took over a year for them to send the FBI on the raid. Remember the raid that happened when he wasn't home? And somehow the MAGA sheep believe that Joe Biden actually sent the FBI to his house, well, the resort that he's not legally supposed to be living in. But anyway, that's besides the point, to actually take him out. Remember that? Because that verbiage, all right, that's two syllables. You should be good with that. The words used in every single law enforcement raid is if deadly force is necessary, they're authorized to use it. Those words that anyone who's ever watched TV knows is part of every raid. They have the right to use deadly force. But anyway, someone in MAGAverse told you that Joe Biden put that specifically in the paperwork to give the FBI an opportunity to take him out. Let's not dig too deep into that, shall we? But they knew he wasn't home. And they arranged it so the raid happened when he wasn't home, so it didn't inconvenience him. Would that have happened if there was something about us? Well, I'm sorry, that's the two-tier justice system of justice. So let's just look at your comment. If someone's in office and there's a mountain of evidence, if you're putting America first, you would want to see that evidence, no matter what. If you are putting, say, Donald Trump first, you'll pretend that evidence doesn't exist. You'll pretend everybody who sticks up for the man who's just being persecuted because he's such a brilliant businessman and he's a billionaire that doesn't need help from anybody, and that's why he's running. That's why we voted for him, because he's such a successful businessman and he's worth billions of dollars, so he will never need money from anybody. Therefore, he will never be under the influence of people with money because that's what he stands for, because he said so. Remember about 150 fundraisers ago? Remember that? Before he sold, the rights to make regulation in the oil companies, to the oil companies, for $1 billion. Before all that, when he didn't need money because he was a successful businessman with every single business going bankrupt or going out of business. That's just besides the point. That's also called facts. That's not something many MAGA sheep are actually familiar with. But let me break it down to you. Those indictments, the 91 indictments, just in one case, I mean, not the other 20 or some odd cases that are there. Those 91 indictments, all that evidence was scrutinized by Republicans and Democrats, put together in what's called a grand jury. They actually look at all the evidence and they go, there's enough here with beyond the shadow of a doubt, and yes, it's before Trump's people get to defend him, but it's enough to move it forward. That's where a grand jury indictment comes from. Then it goes to trial, and Donald Trump and his unpaid legal team, because they don't get paid. Oh, sorry, that's more factual stuff you guys pretend doesn't exist. But anyway, that's when they get to defend him with their evidence. See, without it going to trial, nobody gets to see what the actual proven evidence is, which makes it real easy to say it never happened, because people like you and I love the uneducated, you know what he bragged about at first? You're an example of that, okay? You're not bothering to look at the evidence. You're not bothering to see whether or not the evidence in the documents case is actually worthy of a trial. You just look at what Donald Trump and his little parrots say, and you go, he's my guy. I believe every word. Well, that's ignorance. That's not patriotism. That's not putting America first. That's putting Donald Trump first. So do yourself a favor and change that. Because you're taking that stand, there's ramifications. Not just the fact that you get to post ridiculously ignorant comments like this. Ignorant. Damn it, I did it again. Stupid comments like this. But you're also doing damage to your bloodline, to your, God forbid you have a daughter, or God forbid you have granddaughters, or God forbid you have children or men in your life that actually love women and want what's best for women. You're actually doing a disservice to them, because these people that you're voting for actually want a one-vote household, which means the men vote, not the women. You get to get pregnant and stay home and make some babies and make some food like you're supposed to, because that's the true American way. But they're also taking all the, medical care away from women. It's under the veil of like the whole abortion ban. But if you actually read that, you'll notice that it's not just that. So if, say, God forbid, your daughter or granddaughter gets, attacked at the age of 10 or 12, or you know what? That actually applies to your grandson too, because documents have come out, evidence, in the Jeffrey Epstein files recently, that Donald J. Trump not only assaulted 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls, but also assaulted 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old boys viciously, and paid each and every one of them millions of dollars to sign a non-disclosure agreement and shut the hell up, so people like you don't figure it out. And here's the kicker. That happened in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. But for you to get that information, you'd have to do something called research. Still 2 syllables, you should be good at that. Once you research and you find out this guy that you're so blindly behind has been a scumbag his whole life, has abused not only little girls, but little boys. That surprised me. I thought it was just little girls who looked like his daughter when his daughter was that actual age. Before forcibly beating the hell out of him and them. Evidence. Yes, I know that's 3 syllables, but you should know what it means. You're a grown-ass adult. So before you go on people's pages and leave these ignorant comments, recognize one simple thing. All right? I am America first, and I am an independent. It is not about my vote, but if my vote does something wrong, I want to know about it, and I want them the hell out of office, because I do put America first. You should try that sometime. And if you do any research on this judge that you're defending, you'll notice she did 10 cases before put in this position to handle a documents case. 10 cases, speeding tickets, running red lights. That's her expertise. And she's married to a mobster from Russia. And she has already been offered an attorney general job for getting rid of this case. But you putting 2 and 2 together would make you more of a patriot, and you don't want to do that. So do yourself a favor. Get diligent, get educated, and be kind. America deserves it.